Happy Wednesday, everybody. We had some rain yesterday that wreaked some havoc. So today we get 17 games because 15 just ain't enough. We got to go 17. Starts at 1:45. So all the baseball lovers rejoice because we have baseball all night and all afternoon. So let's get into the recap here. So I've only got 15 on here. We do have 17. Doubleheaders are a little weird. I'm going to talk about game one of the Cardinals and the Royals and the Twins and the White Sox. And then we'll talk about game two, but we're not going to have metrics on it. Let's go over our recap. Basically a wash yesterday. Literally a wash. We went 0-2 on the straight bets. The other two got rained out. I'm sorry, the one got rained out. Cleveland pushed. So Cleveland blew a 4-run lead, ended up having to win it in extras. So that was a push there. Rangers only ended up winning by 1. We needed them to win by 2. Surprising little game there. And then in the Reds-Rockies game, which, by the way, guys, I don't want to cause panic and hell might be freezing over, but we've gotten 4 Reds bets right in a row. 4. It's kind of a big deal. But anyway, after that rain delay, there was a very lengthy rain delay. Lodolo came back out, and after the rain delay, just didn't look good. He looked great before the rain delay. Ended up giving up 4 runs. I think they only scored 5 for the game. So unfortunately, lost that one. But the Reds still got us the win, which was nice. They got us the first 5 win. It was a very good day. So we ended up hitting both our parlays, which was awesome, although the Cleveland, Minnesota, Texas did get reduced from plus 330 to plus 185 because the Minnesota game got canceled. And then we ended up hitting our Braves, Diamondbacks, Nerfy, as well as our Nats, Mets, Nerfy. So combine those two together, it was plus 214. Both of them were sweaty as shit. The Mets were threatening to score in the bottom of the first, and the Diamondbacks had bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. So that was pretty sweaty, but we ended up getting it done. On the games, though, really good. We got 13 games in total there because of the 2 rainouts, and we got 10 right. So we went 10-3 in terms of guessing all the games, which is fantastic. Brewers and Orioles, man, Brewers. I had a really good day personally yesterday, up about 11 units, so super, super good day. But the Brewers, I probably would have had, I think I probably would have had another 4 or 5 units on top of that had the Brewers won. On the player props, 4-4. It was kind of a pushy day. That Hines over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, dude just smoked that line. This dude's good, and he hits the ball a mile. Hit another one out last night that went like 450 some feet. I think he went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, so he just absolutely blistered that line. And good old Kenta Maeda came through for us. Didn't take long. Gave up those 2.5 earned runs in no time flat. So hit those. Unfortunately, Snell and Gilbert, neither of them hit their K props. I thought Snell looked much better. He looked a lot better. Gilbert just couldn't get the Ks, but they were both very pitch effective. I think Snell only went 72 pitches in 5 or 6 innings. So, and then Missouri came out and was shelling up runs to the Mariners, but still somehow got his Ks. So, it is what it is. In terms of upsets yesterday, we saw. I think I said it on the stream. Kramer is vulnerable to giving up home runs, and man, it destroyed him yesterday. He was giving up the long ball, and the Cubs just beat the shit out of the Orioles. Kicking myself because everything inside of me was saying Cubs there and didn't go with it. So it is what it is. Let's jump into this big slate. But before we do that, if you haven't yet, guys, subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps this channel grow. And then I want to hear your guys' comments. What do you think the best picks are today? Upsets. So let's do something like that. And may create a Discord where we can kind of talk. I don't know if you guys are on Discord during the day, but I do like some good friendly banter in a Discord channel. So if you guys would like that, let me know in the comments down below. All right, first game, rules cards, game 1. I want to see lineups first before I put any bets on the Twins doubleheader or this doubleheader. I want to see the lineup cards, see kind of where they're leaning. I would say in my opinion, the Cardinals probably go hard here. Now we have Sonny Gray going in the next game. Sonny Gray and Michael Wacha. So a much better pitching matchup in game two. Um, so I want to see how the Cardinals play it lineup wise here, but I love them to smack the shit out of Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh is an auto fade. He's kind of like Kenton Maeda today for me. So I really like fading him today. He's just terrible. Palante's been pretty good. So I think this line is a little skewed. I actually thought it would be like minus 145. So we'll see here, but I like the Cards first five. I like them money line. I like the over a lot with the wind blowing out. Like I said, more of a fade of Alec Marsh, and I think Palante does give up some runs, right? I could see him giving up 3. I could see Marsh giving up 5 or 6. So I could see just the starters hitting this line alone. All right, next game, Twins, White Sox. I don't love this game. I didn't love it yesterday. I don't love it today. Fedde at home scares me. It plus 136 for a home Fedde. I mean, Ober's been really, really good, and the Twins' bats have just been red hot. You give the Twins a day rest, and this game got postponed very early, so they essentially got a day rest. Twins are pretty damn good on a day's rest, so to me, you still have to lean the Twins. I like the over here with the wind blowing out so strong. But to be honest, I'm not going to touch this game. We've got a much better matchup in game 2 with Pablo Lopez going up against Drew Thorpe. So a very lopsided matchup there. I mean, Pablo had a pretty rough last outing, but that was against a good team. I think he bounces back and throws a gem against the White Sox. But I want to see how this game goes too. You can kind of do that yo-yo effect with double headers where, you know, whoever wins game 1, pick them to lose game 2. A lot of people do that strategy. It's fairly successful. But I want to see kind of, again, same thing. I want to see lineups. How is all this going to play out? I would assume there's going to be people that get called up. Bullpen usage through game 1. So a lot of factors here. There's some decent games today. I just think this is probably one you avoid. It's not my favorite. All right, Cubs, Orioles. Corbin Burns going up against Shota Imanaga. What Shota will we get? Shota 2.88 away ERA. Corbin Burns has just been lights out at home, 1.78 home ERA. I like the Orioles to bounce back, throw a little beating on the Cubs today. I just can't see the Cubs beating them back-to-back games, especially with Corbin Burns on the hill. Much different pitcher. This guy does not give up a lot of home runs, obviously. You can tell by the home ERA. He pitches very well in this ballpark. And I think we see an Imanaga. I don't think we see blow-upping Imanaga, but I think we see a very average Imanaga. The only thing that scares me is the Orioles tend to struggle to score runs off good lefty pitchers. But today they're going with 7 right-handed hitters, and if we look at his splits, he is vulnerable to right-handed hitters. So Baltimore's going very heavy on the right-handed side today. So I like that. I like the Orioles first 5 minus half a run. That'll be on our official plays at minus 125. And in terms of nerfies, there's not a lot of good ones today. I was looking for something to maybe pair this up with, and to be honest, I couldn't find one I felt good with. So, but if you want to play the nerfie, it's at minus 130. I'd say pretty good odds. The only thing that scares me is there's a massive wind blowing out. And if we look at Imanaga's split, 66% of his outs come via the fly ball. So I really love the Orioles to get to him today. This something we added. I worked on this yesterday. I tested it out last night on the games, and it went very well for me. But yeah, this is not indicative of the weather. So this doesn't take into account weather. This is just raw statistical stuff. So we've got it at basically 3-4 full game. I think if we factor in the win, that's probably an additional 3 runs. So that probably gets us to closer to like 10. I do think the Cubs score just because of the wind. Like this is a huge wind blowing out. So I would look at like an Ian Happ home run. Could be a good one, although he hit one out last night. But home run props, this would be a good one to focus on with the wind blowing out so much. All right, next game, Tigers Guardians. This game scares me. We saw the Tigers make a comeback, scored 4 runs in the sixth. They just left Lively out there too long and ended up getting rocked in the sixth. So you look at Lively second, third time through the order, it's not good. So they left him out there a hair too long with that lead, and it almost cost them. Tanner Bybee going up against Reese Olson. I like Cleveland to get the job done today. I think the sticks are coming to life. That said, we've seen the Tigers' bats come to life a little bit over the past week, but I don't trust the Tigers' bats. Detroit's got 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup, and if we look at Bybee's splits, he is vulnerable to lefties, but they're only bringing 3 today. So that means they're hitting 6 right-handed hitters. Bybee, 122 average against righties. So the splits really favor him here. Conversely, we look at Olson, very, very vulnerable to left-handed hitters, giving up a 387 average. Cleveland's bringing 8 today. They are bringing 8 lefties to the lineup today. So everything kind of points towards Cleveland getting the win here. Again, we've got the wind blowing out. I think the power numbers definitely favor Cleveland. So one of the bets I like, I mean, it's a little juiced, but this should be fairly sweat free, would be their first 5 team total over 1.5 at -160. That's a great dance partner. You could pair that up with the Nerfy we just talked about. I mean, lots of good props out there today, actually. So, but give me Cleveland in this one. I feel pretty good about it. I mean, a little scary when we look at Bybee splits with the slider and the curveball. Detroit do hit them very well. So, but conversely, the splits aren't great for Reese Olson either. So, give me Cleveland there all day. All right, Mariners Padres. I was on the Mariners first 5 minus half a run last night. That was beautiful, sweat free, 5-0. Conversely, I'm on the Padres today. So Michael King has been pretty outstanding. His home ERA is a little higher, but that's a little bit skewed by 1 or 2 bad starts early in the season. But lately, he has just been absolutely in fuego. We look at Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller is a very good pitcher at home. He is a horrendous pitcher away. So really like the Padres here. You could do money line. I like -1. We're going to have Padres first 5 minus half a run on our official plays today. And I like the over with the wind blowing out. I think the Padres go hammer town on Miller. But that line's 7.5 for a reason. I typically don't play 7.5s. I just don't love that line. But yeah, we saw the Mariners get 6-7 runs yesterday, something like that. I don't think they can repeat that today. It's just not in the cards for them. That's not who they are. All right, Yankees Rays. I effed up a bet yesterday that cost me, and I'm still pissed about it. Actually cost me 3.5 units. I meant to pick the Rays team total over 3.5, and I accidentally picked the Yankees. I was pissed. So when I saw the Rays score 4 in the first, I'm like, sweet, check that box. And then I look at my bet slip and saw that I picked the Yankees like a jackass, and the Yankees ended at 3. So GG. This is probably not. I think everyone's going to see this differently than me, right? And I can make a case for the opposite of what I'm going with here. Eflin at home has been lights out. He's been phenomenal. You can see in here, Eflin, 2 or less earned runs in every home start. He has not given up more than 2 earned runs in any home start this year. Stroman has given up 3 earned runs in 5 of his last 6 starts. I'm going Yankees. It sounds stupid. I just feel like the Yankees are the play today. If we look at Eflin, he is a little vulnerable to lefties. The Yankees are bringing 5 left-handed hitters. We look at Stroman. Righties tend to be his weakness. Tampa Bay's only going with 4 right-handed hitters. So just everything inside me here says the Yankees bust out today. I don't know why. I don't have any data to back it up. Frankly, the projections are saying that Tampa Bay wins first 5 and full game. This is just kind of a gut play. I know Cashman kind of made some remarks about being disappointed essentially in the Yankees. Just everything inside me says they want to finish strong before the break, and they go on some type of run here. So could be wrong. 100% could be wrong. Like I said, everything points towards the Rays today. And we were on the Rays yesterday in terms of money line plays, and that was wonderful and cash for us. But we didn't see a lot from the Rays yesterday. Scored 4 in the first, and then tacked on an extra one in the bottom of the eighth, and that was it. So Yankees today for me, like I said, everything is Rays on that game, but just gut feeling. All right, Phillies Dodgers. I ended up doing a lot of research on this one yesterday, and I went heavy on Phillies. And thank God I did, because that paid off really well. I had the Phillies first five minus half a run on a couple of slips. I had the full game on a couple of slips, so I think I had them on 4 or 5 slips actually. After I researched it, I just kept loving it more and more. Today, I like the Phillies here. Sanchez scares me a little bit. We look at his last outing at Chicago: 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 Ks. Wasn't good. Sanchez at home has been a little bit of a different story, though. 1.35 home ERA. Stone, 3.67 away ERA. We look at Stone's last start versus the Diamondbacks. That was at home. 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. So both of them had bad last starts. We'll see how they respond today. I just like the Phillies here. We got a nice little surprise, and really what sold me on it yesterday is once I found out Harper was coming back, I was all in, man. So again, we've got Schwarber. We got the OGs back. The lineup is back together. I like them to get the Stone today. I like them to just absolutely hammer him, and I don't think the Dodgers score a ton of runs. Now, the only thing that scares me is that wind is blowing out hard. Another 15 mile an hour out. Makes the under a little dicey. You could look at the over for plus money. I think there's value there, but I'm not going to touch the over under. But lean would be towards the under. But I like the Phillies today in the spot. I think they hit the ball hard. We look versus right-handed hitting over the last 7 days. They haven't been good, but they didn't have Schwarber and Harper. I think that's injected them with some vigor, especially after that beat down last night. That was great to see. I think they just continue it. I know everybody loves the Dodgers, but plus 120 is ridiculous. There's a huge pitching matchup, and we just haven't really seen. I haven't seen the Dodgers do anything that's wooed me in probably 2 weeks. So give me Phillies there. All right, Reds Rockies. This is a sneaky spot for the Rockies, man. I've faded Freeland his last 2 starts, and he's been outstanding actually. So Montas at home, just not good, man. 4.14 home ERA. He's 1-4 on the year. So that said, he hasn't gotten a ton of run support. I will tell you, I was there for his 1 win. It was against the Angels. He pitched very well that game. That was a fun game to watch. But ultimately, I like the Reds just because I'm fading the Rockies. I know over the last 7 days they're hitting 300. They just haven't showed me a ton, to be honest. So. But I think there's some really good Rockies props in here. And going Rockies money line is a good value play today, too. So I wouldn't knock anybody that went to that. I like first 5, both teams to score 2 runs, plus 130. My actual fear is the Reds. It's not really the Rockies scoring 2 runs, to be honest. I think the Rockies can do that. I get a little nervous about Freeman being a lefty and the Reds not hitting lefties well. So that's a little scary, but there's a lot of momentum on the red side. So Rockies' first 5 team total is only 1.5 at minus 140. Full game team total is 3.5 at minus 130. So feels really low to me. A little scary. So a coin flip game for me either way. I like the Reds. Do I love them? No. So I could see a Rockies play here. Rockies run line is a really good play. The line wasn't out this morning. It may be out by now, but the Rockies run line would be a really good play as well. All right, Mets and Nats. I had a slip where I wanted to just add a little more value. And this is one I got beat on. I had Phillies first 5 minus half, and who else did I have? I had somebody else, Cleveland first 5 minus a half, and I wanted a little more value, so I pushed it, and I added Nats first 5 plus 1.5, and just if we looked at Irvin, I mean, same pitching matchup on 4th of July. Irvin went 8 innings, no runs, just threw an absolute gem, and then he got shit on last night. Big 3-run homer. I think it was a 3-run homer, whatever it was. It hurt. So this game on paper, if you looked at the box score, you're like, oh wow, it's kind of a close game. It wasn't. The Nats came back in the eighth and the ninth and scored some runs, but really was not a close game. Severino going up against Patrick Corbin. It is Patrick Corbin day. I feel like it's a Patrick Corbin day. So I'm all in on the Mets here. I like the over. Again, another huge tailwind. 16-mile-an-hour wind. So I like the money line. I like Mets first five minus half a run. Isolate Corbin and Severino. And I like the over. You could look at the Nerfy, which we've been very successful betting these Nerfies, but not with this kind of wind. The long ball is just way too prevalent today. All right, next game, Red Sox Athletics. I thought we were going to have another Brian Bello freaking blow up start last night. Athletics scored 2 in the first. I'm like, oh, Jesus, here we go. And I ended up being on the Red Sox. I was on Red Sox run line, Red Sox -1. So they ended up scoring 3, and then they just went on an absolute tear and beat the shit out of the Athletics, although the Athletics made a comeback at the end, though. I think the final score was like 12-9 or something like that. I like the Red Sox today. Pivetta going up against J.P. Sears. Sears 4.82 away ERA. Pivetta does have a pretty high home ERA. That's skewed by 2 really bad starts. He got absolutely rocked by the Padres, if you remember. That was when the Padres had about a week span where they were averaging 8-9 runs a game. So I like the Red Sox here. I think the bats continue. Again, kind of same theme. Big wind blowing out today. So I like them to hit some dongs today and really get to Sears early and often. I mean, the batting splits versus lefties is a little sketchy at 141, but Sears is nothing special. They should get to him. Pivetta would be my only fear. Hopefully he has a good bounce back game. All right, Astros Marlins. I hate this line. -258 is just too much. I was on the Astros last night. I had a money line, thank God, and I had a -1, which I think was a push. But I've got Astros on here, but man, this feels like a Marlins spot to me. Everything inside me says this is too good a value to not take the Marlins. Framber Valdez has not been overly solid this year, so there's some question marks there. Essentially, this is a bullpen game for the Marlins, so if this were a different starter, I'm probably all in on Marlins here. That said, Marlins team total over is only 2.5. So they need to get 3 runs to hit that team total at -135. You could look at Marlins run line at -102. I think that would be an okay play, but man, there's a ton of value taking Marlins money line too. So I have a feeling at some point today I will find a way to incorporate the Marlins into something today. I just see value here. I see a lot of value, and we've got a very low over/under at 8. So the over is favored, but man, just feels like a real sneaky spot. If we look kind of the StatCast numbers, Valdez gets hit harder than any starters. Hard hit percentage is almost 49%, exit velo 92 miles an hour. So he is literally the worst starting pitcher in baseball from a hard hit percentage and exit velo percentage. So a lot of things that really make me gravitate towards the Marlins here today. And I just kind of feel like Houston's I just don't feel like they're getting up for this series. We didn't really see it last night. I don't think we'll see it tonight. All right, Brewers Pirates. Yeah, Brewers just got smacked. It was one real bad inning, and then they just kind of threw in the towel. Martin Perez going up against Tobias Myers. Martin Perez looked very good against the Cardinals. That said, Perez did face Milwaukee at Milwaukee on May 15th and got rocked. 5 innings, 11 hits, 9 earned runs. So Brewers at home, same thing as yesterday. I still love Brewers at home. I love them to bounce back today. I don't think they get smacked. Tobias Myers, I really like this rookie. I think he's a very good pitcher. So Brewers all day for me. Really love this split. If we look at the pitch splits for Perez, Brewers kill the fastball. They kill the changeup. So everything works in their favor here. Splits aren't great for Myers, but I just don't see the Pirates coming out and hanging up on them again. That said, they could, right? Last 7 days hitting 270, but I'm not seeing it. All right, next game, Angels Rangers. Rangers let us down, man. Scherzer didn't have a great outing actually. It was 4-4. I think it was 4-4 when I went to sleep. Rangers ended up winning 5-4. Unfortunately, we had them on the run line, so didn't cash for us. Lorenzen going up against Canning. I think there's a big pitching disparity here. Not a Canning fan. I like Rangers all day. I think they hit, and then hit some more, and then keep hitting. So thought about running back the run line play, especially at plus money. But we're just going to go with them straight. Minus 142. We'll take the money line. All right, next game. Braves. Braves got the job done last night. Sale looked great. Rough early start, though. I was a little concerned. Today we've got Grandpa Charlie Morton taking on Slade Sassoni. Slade Sassoni at home is an auto fade. I don't love Morton, but that said, his K prop's at 5.5, and he is favored to go over. So I like the Braves to get the job done. So on the Braves here, not super high on them. I got them ranked kind of middle-ish of the pack here. All right, last game. Giants Blue Jays. Only thing I had in this game last night was the Nerfy. So I did hit a nice little 3-pick Nerfy with Giants, Blue Jays, Mets, Nats, and had the Mariners versus the Padres. So hit that 3-pick Nerfy. That was kind of nice. Today we got Logan Webb and Chris Bassett. Kind of the rule of thumb with Logan Webb is you fade him away, you take him when he's home. He's a very good home pitcher. I like them today, but I got them ranked pretty low just because offensively they scare me. This is two kind of bad offenses, especially over the past week. Both hitting right around 200. I like the over, though. Over's only at 7. So I usually don't play lows, but this just feels like one you play, especially with the wind blowing out. 7 is just really, really low. But I like Giants money line. I like Giants first 5. Projection here is 2-1 through 5 and 4-2 full game in favor of the Giants. But again, not factoring in the win there. So I think the win adds probably 2 runs to this total. So I think I kind of see it like a 3-5 kind of game in terms of the Giants. So let's talk, like I said, doubleheader. I like Lopez for the Twins in game 2, but again, I want to see what happens in game 1. And then in game 2 of the Cards game, I like Sonny Gray over Waka, and I like the under. I'm not sure what it is, but I would definitely lean towards the under. That said, Waka has not had a ton of success against the Cardinals, so I think we've got a good matchup here for the Cards to win game 2. Like I said, I want to see what happens with game 1. Let's talk about best bets. This video is getting long. Here we go. All right, I got a decent amount of bets today. I went back and forth on this. I felt like I should scale back, but at the same time, I mean, I truly really like all of these bets. So O's first 5 minus half a run at minus 125. Just hedging they get to Imanaga. Cardinals first 5 team total over 2.5. This is a fade of Alec Marsh. This guy is a earned run machine. So that's at plus money, plus 105. Probably the riskiest play here. So if you're going to fade one, that's probably the one I'd fade. Padres first 5 minus half a run at plus money. I think King pitches a great game, and I think Bryce Miller does what he does on the road and gives up runs. Yankees Rays over 8. This is kind of my hedge on the Yankees money line because I will be playing that Yankees money line today. But I think there's runs scored here. I know Eflin hasn't given up a ton. It's just a gut feeling, man. And then this bet I really like. Red Sox race to 5 runs plus 100. I just don't see them not scoring 5 runs with the wind blowing out that much. And I think the Red Sox would be the first ones to get there. So I like that bet at plus money. And then the first game of the doubleheader, we're taking the over in the Cardinals-Kansas City game. Again, more of a fade of Alec Marsh, and I think Palante gives up some runs as well. So, but again, one I'm going to check the lineup on, but I feel like the Cardinals are going to go hard for this first game, but we'll see. All right, parlays that I like today. We've got the Mets, the Rangers, and the Brewers all -1. So there's definitely some push potential here. But plus 479, you could just take the money lines on those as well. I think it's right around like 300. We've got the Red Sox, the Phillies, and the Indians money line, plus 331. I wouldn't even be opposed to doing like Cleveland -1 or Boston -1 on this. And then pitcher props, so I've kind of asterisked the 3 pitcher props I like. I like Eflin under 5.5 Ks. I like Christopher Sanchez over 4.5 Ks. Slade Sassoni under 4.5 Ks. So pair those 3 together, you get plus 405. And then for our fun parlay, this is a little 6-pick. I actually like. We've been hitting the fun parlays actually. This is a little deep though. I've been keeping them usually to like 4 or 5, but Mets, Rangers, Brewers, Red Sox, Indians, Orioles. Pair those 6, you get plus 1598. Again, it's like quarter unit play. I may or may not have done a half a unit just to have a little fun today. So, all right, you can see my rankings here. I went back and forth on this for a while. I probably changed this 15 times. A lot of games I like, a lot of games I'm not sure about that where we could see some upsets, right? I'm hoping the Phillies get the job done today. It's the Dodgers. They could show up. Sanchez could have a bad outing, but I feel pretty good about that one. Detroit and Cleveland, Reese Olson, we'll see which Reese Olson and which Tanner Bybee shows up. A little scared with Bybee. If we look at the last time they played, Bybee did give up 4 earned runs, so possibility there. Colorado and Cincinnati, man, it feels like a Colorado game, not going to lie, but going with the Reds. And then Miami, Houston, that's probably my biggest one. Like I said, Miami will make it on my card at some point today. I just see value there, and everything inside me says Miami's just that sneaky ass team that beats good teams for some reason, and this just feels like that could happen today. And then White Sox and the Twins. Like I said, Eric Fedde at home is just really, really good. So that game, I'm not touching that game. Like I said, I'll focus more on game 2 with Pablo and Drew Thorpe, and I'll find a way to work that into my card somehow. But not going to touch the first game. And you can see it. I've got it ranked dead last here. Just minus 162 is a little steep for Fedde at home. I know Ober's been pitching good, but we'll have to see there. So those are the plays for today. A little longer video because we had 17 games. But if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let me know. Do you think I got some picks right, wrong? Tell me what you guys are going with today. And I will catch you guys on the next video.